Okay, off the bat, I do just want to say I did write this really weirdly. So if I do pause every now and then to, kind of catch myself, that's probably why. I'd like. Anyway, that's just a nice little heads up. Well, well, well. Welcome to What If Deku Stood on Business. I'm sick of Deku being a little pushover, so I decided to put this out there. If you want to see stuff similar to this, like short, sweet content, I do have a playlist down below. Anyways, let's get right into it. Deku in this timeline is born to Inko and my boy Mark Phillips. Though, like in canon, he will not be in the picture. He'll be born with a quirk, a mutation type quirk that he can't turn off, a quirk that he inherited from his dad, enhanced ignorance, the doctor would say. His quirk, telling him what the Deku was off the bat. Inko's like, but what does that even mean? The doctor stares her oh my god. The doctor stares her in the eyes. This kid is going to be a real handful. Deku's eyes twitched after he said this, knowing the doctor was hating straight off the bat. He grows up with Inko. She's treated really nice by Deku actually, no issues at home. Out of home is another story though. Deku would be pretty nice at school, no one really piquing his quirk to activate. Just kids being kids. This all changed when Bakugo would unlock his quirk one day. He shows up to school declaring his supremacy and showcasing his quirk. He puts his hands out and ignites his palms. A few small sparks would fly out. The class gawks at this. Deku stands up. The first comment finally reaching him. Who are you better than? You saying you're better than me? Deku stands up, pushing his desk down and rushing Bakugo, throwing a mean right hook with all his force behind it. It hits clean on Bakugo, straight shakes his shit. The teachers grab Deku and rush him out of the class. He flails in their arms, still insulted by what Bakugo said to him. Ayo, nah, say it again! Deku gets thrown, like legit thrown, into the hallway as the teachers go back to care for Bakugo. They send Deku up and Inko's marks her first suspension on the fridge. He returns a week later. Inko explaining his quirk to them would have lessened the suspension, but it would have still bordered on expulsion. Deku tried his best. He walks back into school, sitting down and acting like nothing happened. The others stare at him. He feels their stares, every one of them making him angrier. Every time he thought about it, he was bugging. He put his head onto the desk and put his headphones in. His strategy worked for a while, Deku getting through school fine, his headphones draining out of anyone's comments. This would be the case until one day where his headphones ran out of battery. He was fine with this, keeping a low profile. If he kept a low profile, he'd be fine. Except this whole time he didn't notice Bakugo's comments. Turns out Deku's headphones blocked out Bakugo's advances towards him. Hey Deku, you punched me again and I'm gonna blow your head off, you damn villain. Deku drops the pens in his hands and grabs his bag with one hand before spinning and slamming that bitch into Bakugo. Go on then! Deku starts beating on Bakugo straight, picking him up and slamming on the floor. Left, right, good night. Bakugo slams to the floor. He got his shit spun. The teachers once again come outside to intervene, but it's too late. Deku was expelled on the spot, and his quirk is deemed too dangerous for the public. Due to this, Deku would low-key be homeschooled for a while before he got his quirk in order, realizing his strength grew in percentage with his ignorance. He'd begin to think of more mindful techniques, trying to meditate and stuff like that, doing this until the age of 14. Now let's just say he got put back into school, needing to complete middle school on campus. He would attend a middle school not too far away from his primary school, though not the same as in canon. He would not really speak to anyone, keeping quiet in the back of the class with a headphone in at all times. People respected this, not even bothering. No one knew about his quirk, and he wanted to keep it that way. The final day of school would roll around, the teachers walking in and putting career aptitude tests on their desk to complete. Unlike his canon school, this one's low-key kinda nerdy. The teacher sits in front of the class, reading through everyone's applications for high school. He sees the regular schools, some out-of-state schools. His eyes glance over at Deku's name, seeing he's going to UA High School. He opens his mouth agape, seeing his pen and... Huh? Getting his pen and taking a... whatever, the line to check if he saw it right. And what the hell? Another? Hagakure? Who the hell is that? Invisible girl, by the way. He looks up. Uh, so Deku, you wanted to go to UA. Do you think you can do that? Deku looks up. What the hell is that supposed to mean? The teacher looks away. Hagakure. Invisible, invisible girl puts her hand up. Invisible girl. The teacher looks away. Uh, sorry. Makes sense. Wait, how are you gonna get him on the practical portion? Invisible girl doesn't know. The final bell rings and Deku rushes out of the class before anyone can pester him about his career choice. He runs a different way from home than usual, taking a right down an alleyway and jumping a fence to meet a dirt road. He walks this road and steps under a tunnel. Walking through, he hears a loud thud behind him, followed by a "I didn't know he was going to be around." Deku turns, meeting eyes with the Sludge villain. "Perfect, kid. You're my hero." He sends a tendril at Deku, which Deku barely dodges, getting madder. "Get off me! No diddy damn, bruh!" Deku looks around, bringing out a switch, and pops this motherfucker in his eyes. Doesn't do anything, but, still. The Sludge lunges at Deku once again, which Deku, in his enraged state, decides to fight. Not being a bitch, He tries to fight it and gets straight swallowed up. Pause. All Might jumping out of the sewer drain just in time as the Sludge grabs a hold of him. He sends a Texas smash at the villain and sends Deku and the villain flying. Deku just barely catches himself. "Hey yo, give me a break, get off my dick!" He looks up, seeing his idol in front of him. For once he apologizes for the words he said and starts helping All Might collect the villain. Speaking of his aspirations for being a hero and his quirk on how it works, All Might thinks of it. If One for All got given to him, who knows what would have happened with his quirk? Would his ignorance get even more enhanced? He didn't want to know. He was already walking on thin ice. All Might would thank Deku and abruptly jump off, Deku shrugging and walking off. The Sludge villain not dropping. He instead goes past the arcade after school, kinda bored low-key. This is where he runs into a familiar face. He looks at him, squinting, trying to figure out who it was, putting two and two together. Bakugo immediately knows who this is. "Deku? That you?" Deku looks at him, still trying to figure it out. He knew the hair and the eyes from somewhere, but he just didn't know. "You trying to fight me?" Wait. Oh, whoops. "You don't remember me?" "Remember you? What am I, a fan?" Bakugo grits his teeth at this. Deku not being around in canon let Bakugo go loose with his class until it turning him into even more of an asshole. Bakugo straight hears this response and straight away throws a right hook, his hand cackling with a small explosion. Deku knows who this is immediately after seeing that. His quirk, after seeing his quirk. "Strike a nerve, did I?" He dodges the punch and counters Bakugo, stumbling back a little bit, knocked a little, oh my god. Knocked a little but still there. "Damn it, Deku, I still haven't forgotten." He rushes Deku, throwing a huge explosion at him, straight breaking the building. Pro heroes hear this and start rushing over. Deku knows this is up, but his quirk takes over before he can even think. "You aiming for me, little boy?" He rushes at Bakugo and starts throwing haymakers at the motherfucker. Bakugo barely slipping them, getting caught every now and then. Deku sees this and gets mad. "Oh, you Mike Tyson now, huh?" He drops down and straight binks Bakugo, spinning his rat ass 180 degrees. He leaves him there once again, like when they were kids, his two goonies looking on. Deku walks off, not wanting to look like a villain in front of the pro heroes who were about to walk on a scene. Deku then walks home and begins his training. He still had aspirations to be a hero with his quirk. Okay, now before the 10-month time frame starts, let me tell you a little bit about his quirk. His quirk is named Enhanced Ignorance, like his father, Mark Phillips, from the suburbs. He gets ignorant in the normal situations, though he can't control he oh my god. Though he can control it to the slightest. Once he's gone, however, it's hard to get back. The more ignorant he gets, the more he overthinks and nervous. Oh my god. The more ignorant he gets, the more his overthinking and nervousness goes out the gate. But so are his wits. You know, like he just starts throwing. If he gets mad, he just starts throwing hands. Once he's locked in, he's only going to get more locked in. He also scales with his ignorance, getting progressively stronger with it. He can get to about 3 times his normal strength through this. For the 10 months, he gets laced up at getting a fresh cut and working out in the gym. Both working out physically but also mentally, training his quirk through exposure therapy. His headphones would be playing some annoying shit in his ear, like really annoying, provoking shit. This helps his quirk stay active whilst he's working out. He pretty much does that for 10 months. Keeping in cool for a little bit before walking out through the UA gates. Here's where it actually gets fun.